Good afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We have a big pullback on SPY, big compared to the previous day's range, which was very tight. And we are now going to zoom out and look at the daily time frame for our key levels again. But we have a short-term oversold bounce trying to play out right now. 5-minute RSI got down into the teens. We will look for a 5-minute lower high to be set as the RSI does cool off. And really what you can boil it down to is for the past 3 days, Friday through today, XLF was holding on while we were seeing relative weakness in the tech sector. And it's just the straw that broke the sector's back here as we double topped at the high of the day, broke support, and then saw a significant pullback for the first time in XLF. So looking at it on the daily time frame again, just clarity as far as what we are watching on time frames and what is most important. So what is most important for me on SPY is the daily uptrend. Our daily high or low is $296.99. We are currently about $2.40 above that level or so. So we could see another solid percent pullback to get down to that level. But what also is standing out to me now is QQQ and the 4-hour equilibrium. So QQQ, we double topped at the high, and we are now going to be looking at our key low of 190.71. We're going to be watching to see high, low, lower high, and now we're going to be watching, can the bulls give us a higher low compared to 190.71? Microsoft earnings are tomorrow after hours, which will have a solid impact on the sector. But that's what has my attention now. Amazon and Facebook had the same setup. So Amazon, we were watching the 5-minute equilibrium. We were saying if we cannot break 1794 this morning, look for a 4-hour equilibrium to set up. That's what we've got. And we had Facebook with the same thing, except Facebook had a news reaction that already led us to a lower low. So some lower highs and tightening ranges on Amazon and QQQ. Facebook already broke bearish thanks to news. SPY pulling back, unable to break the all-time high. We came real close today, and now we're just back to looking at the daily uptrend for SPY to see if the daily uptrend can remain intact. If we lose the daily uptrend this week by breaking 296.99, that means zoom out because we are staying in the weekly equilibrium until at least the end of the month. If that were to play out, that would be our lower high. We would lose the daily uptrend, and we would then look for a weekly higher low compared to 284.82. So burden of proof is still on the bears. They're certainly showing us something here at the end of the day, but now they have to follow through and lose the daily uptrend. Dollars oversold bounce is underway. It's still a very weak bounce at this point. Just looking for a lower high. When we lose the 4-hour uptrend, we will say that our daily lower high has been established. Gold with this market weakness, not really seeing a whole lot of strength. We are seeing a little bit of green, but nothing significantly notable. So just still sideways, patiently waiting for a break in gold or silver. And it's honestly looking like the FOMC is going to give us that break just because we are still trading sideways and we now have about 5.5 trading days before the FOMC decision. So that's going to be what we watch as we now are on our third weekly inside bar in a row. Silver, same thing, sideways trading, patiently waiting. Oil had a bull break today, getting over one resistance level of 54.60, but we did not break the top of the move, 54.91. The weekly bear flag remains intact at this point. Inventory report tomorrow on oil. If it's a bullish reaction, we'll have to clear 54.91 for the potential of follow through on that weekly time frame. And the new must-hold level is 52.70. If we break 52.70 support, the odds of a weekly bear flag will increase significantly. Natural gas. So we're looking for a 4-hour lower high to be set. May already be set at this point. Depends on how this inside bar breaks, but we will need to change the 4-hour trend to give us the daily higher low. And natural gas is a really good example of how time frames are all just fractals of each other and how they play off of each other. And we start zoomed out and then we zoom in. So if I zoom out on natural gas, the most likely scenario after this big bull move and pullback is for a weekly higher low to form. So that's step number one. We're looking for a weekly higher low. We then zoom into the daily time frame and say, what do we need to see for a weekly higher low? The answer is we need a daily trend change. And we say, okay, with this current setup, nice solid bounce, but just a daily lower high. We need a daily higher low and then a higher high to change that daily trend. So that's what started us watching this potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. So now that we know we need a daily higher low, we zoom into the 4 hour, and we need the 4 hour trend change for our daily high or low to be established. So for all of this to play out, we need a 4 hour trend change, a daily bull break of 238.4, and then we'll be looking at our weekly equilibrium tightening up. Bitcoin, still in a 4 hour tightening range, bit of an equilibrium at this point. Bulls are going to try and hold 81.56. If 81.56 breaks, it's just another daily lower high being set, and we'll be looking back down at 78.14 and 7,700 as support. Bears are keeping their control on the longer term time frames. So we'll keep an eye on this SPY bounce here at the end of the day, the 2-minute time frame, struggling with exponential resistance, and we are going to have to see some notable shift in order to see this not be a 5-minute bear flag right now. Bulls are going to have to break over 299.71, the current high of this bounce. Otherwise, 5-minute bear flag is on the table. So we'll keep an eye on that out of the corner of our eye, and let's now get into some tickers. Apple and MA. So Apple hit the all-time high today. It is a bearish reversal candlestick. So the first thing I want to know, is it an hourly? Have we lost the hourly uptrend? So I can look at this and say, all right, we'll say our higher low was the end of the day yesterday at 240.03. We held that at the low of the day, 240.30, and we're still holding that. So 240 is now the most important support level for me. If we lose 240 support, we'll say the hourly uptrend has been lost, and we'll then zoom out to the daily, and we'll look for a daily higher low compared to 233.20. So daily uptrend is the most important thing. 240 is key short-term support. MA has been pulling back all day on acquisition news. 260.41 is support, and after that, there's a lack of support until 253.90. Short-term little bounces, not getting anywhere. 5-minute exponential resistance the entire day. Big-time bear volume the last couple hours, and hourly RSI certainly crushed. If we were to see a gap down open or a weak start first thing tomorrow morning, we'll be looking for an hourly oversold bounce because there's no sign of a bounce here at the end of the day, and certainly market weakness into the close here, not helping any oversold bounce try and take place. SPY is testing the high of its bounce at this point, just got a bit over it. Bulls trying to create as much space as possible for a potential 5-minute higher low once this short-term bounce does top out. So MA on the 5-minute time frame started trading sideways. We had the high of the day, low of the day, lower high, lower low with big bear follow through, lower high, sideways range, pretty much just sideways equilibrium, bear break, equilibrium, bear break, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows the rest of the day. That is as clear a downtrend as you can get with a 5-minute lower high on every single bounce attempt. Netflix, so we saw the all-out dump pre-market. We were looking for a 5-minute lower high once the bell rang, a lower high compared to 278.60. We got it. As soon as we broke 270, short-term bears regained control. 269 was the low of yesterday. That broke to give bears further control, and then we just set 5-minute lower highs and lower lows until the low of the day. There's your first 5-minute trend change. Again, look at the guide here of this 12-period exponential resistance. Every bounce attempt all morning rejects from it. We set a little higher low and higher high. It then becomes support, and we see follow through. The 5-minute trend change was at 268.28. So we had the low of the day, high of the bounce, just another lower high, higher low formed. Then we changed the trend at 268.28, and we ended up going up multiple over $2. So nice follow through there, but didn't last long. It was just an hourly lower high being set and an hourly bear flag that did drop to a lower low. So our new key resistance is 271, and another little bounce attempt here at the end of the day as SPY is attempting to bounce as well, very correlated to SPY the last 20 minutes. Roku. So Roku, let's see if the 4 hour is setting up here as well. It's more clear for me if we take off extended hours just to condense it down, but high, low, lower high was set, and now we're looking at 124.79. If the bulls can hold it, 4 hour equilibrium will play out another day or two, and if we lose that level, then we look at, you could consider that a loss of the daily uptrend, higher low established, attempted continuation, and then a pullback to a lower low, which again, weekly lower high is what we're looking for. So if we lose that 124.79, the odds of our weekly lower high being set will go up a good bit, and the bulls tomorrow are going to be trying to form a 4-hour tightening range, as are the QQQ and Amazon bulls. They're looking for a 4-hour higher low, and I like the 4-hour time frame for clarity on all three of those names. SNC. So SNC did get the big time follow through. The first bull break was 1867. The bulls did not look back after that, and now it's all about 2118 to try and change the weekly trend as well. Hourly has not consolidated today, so we know that we will form an hourly higher low when we do consolidate, very likely. And we also know that hourly consolidation is likely due in the short term because of how extended we've gotten. So at some point tomorrow, we'll look for healthy hourly consolidation and a higher low to form. And it's just all about resistance of 2041 and 2118. There's a few other levels mixed in there, but those are the most important short-term levels. TLT. So watching for a weekly equilibrium on TLT, where we have our high, low, lower high has been set. Bulls have to hold 136.54 for a higher low. We will need a daily trend change, so we are bouncing above that level, but it's not convincing in any way yet. Anything under 140.38 is just a daily lower high. Have to change the daily trend while holding 136.54 to stay in the weekly equilibrium. BA, I have no idea when lawsuits will come out. CGC, so we're closing. Ideally, the bulls want to close over 21, but we do have a little higher low and higher high. It's not a very convincing pivot point for a daily higher low to be established, but the bulls will take it at this point, absolutely. Still struggling at the daily 12-period exponential resistance. Volume is low as it's low on SPY, but bulls definitely want to see increasing bull volume to have confidence. So we have a low, high, higher low. The most important level is now 1961. And if we do not get follow through on this move over the next couple of days, we have to be cautious of a weekly bear flag, which is still a possibility. So a daily little trend change without any follow through means caution of a weekly bear flag. And that's what we are going to be watching for the next couple days. Hourly higher low has not been set since the low of today. So we'll need a new hourly higher low on any consolidation that we see from here. Resistance will be 2118. And then after that, we're looking up at 22 psychological. TRUL. So consolidation continues on TRUL. Still looking for the daily higher low to be set. Still low bear volume. Anything above 1196 is a daily higher low. So we need an hourly trend change for that daily higher low to be established. We're not close to changing the hourly trend. Anything under 1332 is just a lower high. Bears aren't getting much follow through on the 1296 break, but no sign of the daily higher low being set just yet. We also have the daily exponential support approaching, which held the last consolidation, so that's going to be in play into tomorrow. And I may consider adding on. I did enter down in this range, and I may add to my position, averaging up a little bit if I do see a spot that I like, looking for the daily higher low to be established. So still no red flags at this point. And if we were to see the daily higher low established, fail to break the top, and then lose the daily uptrend, I would exit my position for small profit because that would lose the daily uptrend. So those are all things I'm watching over the next week or two. VFF. So VFF standing out as a bull today as well. Keeping in mind that this move is coming off the low. We were watching the 4-hour falling wedge that broke bull. But we know that there is not a daily uptrend at this point. So we're a bit skeptical of the bulls still. They've had a great 2 days, no doubt about that. But we're going to have to top out. Short-term resistance is 781. But whenever we top out and lose the hourly uptrend, we have to come down and hold 650 and then change the daily trend with a higher low and higher high. Hourly chart, seeing some healthy consolidation here into the end of the day, potentially even an hourly bull flag with where we stand right now. SPY continuing its oversold bounce, creating some more space for a potential 5-minute high or low when we do top out. Again, it seems like it was a fast, hard drop, no doubt about that. But in my opinion, it seems a bit magnified just by the range being so small previously. The close yesterday was $299.99, and we're currently just below that level. NUGT. So NUGT, bulls are hoping that a higher low is forming compared to 25.80. We bounced off 25.81, so there's your double bottom by a penny. And to change the daily trend from here, we have to break 29.24. And that would give us a higher low or a double bottom, a break of the lower highs. And again, we are watching the falling wedge bullish reversal pattern. And we should know shortly whether this can break or not. Keeping in mind that even if we trade sideways a few more days, the FOMC, I would expect a break before the FOMC, but it's possible we stay tight until then. Again, 5.5 more trading days. So there's a very clear support, and now the question is, can the bulls shift that momentum and break the daily lower highs? There's GDX. Definitely going to be watching miners close for the rest of this week. ACB. So ACB bulls did not prove a thing today. We were looking for a daily higher low to be established. We had to break 374 for that to be the case, and we just got a daily inside bar with little information. So the inside bar has to break bullish tomorrow for us to say that our daily higher low is 351, and if it doesn't, we're looking right back down at 340. So I do still have a partial small position where I exited a bit of APHA and a bit of ACB this morning as soon as CGC and everybody else couldn't break their high of yesterday in the first half hour of trading. And I will exit the rest if we break the lows of yesterday on these names. So little daily inside bar, ACB bulls proving nothing. APHA holding on a bit better, but also could not break its high of yesterday. 490, we got up to 489. So daily inside bar has to break bullish tomorrow for the daily higher low to be set and for us to then be looking back up towards resistance. So still a lot of proving to do for the bulls. NTNX. So daily higher low is 25.62 to keep the bulls in control. Key resistance 27.65, so it definitely is still giving the bulls a bit of trouble. Unable to get over that level. It is a double top and technically a triple top now. 27.44, 27.52, 27.65. So we have to see a clear break over that level. If we lose the daily uptrend without breaking that level, we will then have a weekly equilibrium to be watching. So key resistance test and the daily higher lows, important. PLNT. Most important support level for me, and we actually had a little equilibrium that looks like it had a bit of a fake out with a bear break of one level, but not both. So 59.54 is the most important support level for me. And key resistance is 61.30, 61.43. So that's the range. We're still in the middle of that range with a few resistance levels ahead. If we break bearish, we zoom out to the weekly, and our weekly top of the bounce will clearly be set. And if we break bullish, that just means daily continuation, and I would consider that a daily trend change with all that sideways trading before continuation. So worth watching for a break of one of these two levels sometime in the next few days. AMTD. So AMTD on the daily time frame is still continuing its move. Bull break over 38.20, which means we're filling the gap and there's a lack of resistance up there. But we are looking a little toppy on the hourly. Let's see if on the half hour for clarity. This is the 15-minute. So high of the day, low of consolidation, pretty much a double top, and now 38.05 is key support. So looking at that on the hourly time frame, high of the day, low of the pullback, lower high, bulls trying to hold 38.05 for an hourly higher low to keep this hourly uptrend. If we lose the hourly uptrend, we zoom out and we'll look for a daily higher low to form, as the last one was 34.58. So bulls still comfortable as far as space for a daily higher low to form, but watching the hourly uptrend into tomorrow for the short-term action. WFC. So WFC, our key resistance was up at 51.25. We got up to 51.02. Hourly uptrend still intact. Healthy hourly consolidation. If we lose the hourly uptrend, it'll be our high, low of the pullback, lower high, and we'll look for a higher low compared to 49.32. If we hold the hourly uptrend and break 51.25, 51.41 is the highest price we've seen in a very long time. And that'll be a key resistance to test as well. So no red flags right now with this consolidation. Let's see what XLF, the financial sector, looks like. It too is in an hourly uptrend still. So we got an hourly uptrend on XLF. We've got the 4-hour equilibrium potential on QQQ. And those are two key things that we're watching into tomorrow. Starbucks. 83.61 support has broken on Starbucks, so that's our weekly lower high being set, and it looked like a bear flag, and it is a bear flag, and it confirmed as a bear flag. So lower high and lower low. The next support level under 84 is going to be 83.18, 82.08, and just continuation of the downtrend. On any bounce that we see, we'll look for a daily lower high compared to 87.68. And if we bounce from here and see a couple green days, we would then start to look for the potential of a falling wedge after a bear break with no follow through. So bears want to ensure a red day tomorrow to try and get some follow through on that support break. MU. So MU, we're still watching for the potential of the head and shoulders pattern on the weekly time frame, which would just be going from higher lows and higher highs on the weekly to then a lower high. And if we roll over and break this support of 41.75, if I can draw it right, it would be a lower high and then a lower low. So we're watching for the potential of that setup. So we zoom into the daily time frame for some clarity. The daily chart technically still in an uptrend. Our higher low was 42.62. We then bounced off of another higher low at 43.23, but we're topping out. And I believe in a recent live stream a couple days ago, we drew the potential where if we can't break to see continuation on the daily and then we roll over and break this support of 43.23, the odds of the right shoulder forming on the weekly time frame will increase a good bit, as that would lose the daily uptrend and increase the odds that a weekly lower high and lower low could indeed follow through. So let's see if the 4-hour gives us some more clarity. So we pulled back hard on the 4-hour time frame. We bounced to a lower high. And the question is, are we going to drop down and break our low of 43.23 to lose the daily uptrend? But could also be a 4-hour equilibrium with our high, low, lower high. And if the bulls hold 43.23, we'll look for a higher low, similar to QQQ and Amazon and these other names on the 4-hour time frame. Bottom line is, I'd be very cautious as a bull because of how this weekly is shaping up. UNP, big bull break. So inside bar bull break yesterday with big follow through. 172.21 is the resistance on the weekly chart. If we reject from it, inverse head and shoulders on the weekly will be what we're watching. But no sign of any weakness as we head to that resistance at this point, and it is in play for the next couple days. Hourly charts a bit extended. We'll need an hourly higher low compared to 165.74. Shop. So shop is weak on the hourly with a lot of bear volume dumping. So here's another one where it was a weekly bounce that we were just looking for a lower high to form, and now we're looking right back down at 286, our recent low, and we will be in a weekly downtrend if that level breaks. So looking at the daily chart, just a little inside bar bear break, inside bar bear break as we head down towards that support level. And it's all about 286.07. If that breaks, we're looking down at 281.69. Already did TRUL. So SPY, there's our top of the bounce being set, just under 300 psychological. The bulls now have to hold 299.22 and then break 300 to change the 5-minute trend. Otherwise, bears are looking to close with momentum in their favor. IIPR. Weak bounce attempt on the daily time frame. Bear flag is possible. Anything under 80.40 is just a daily lower high. So we're looking down at 70.57 as the only short-term support. If 70.57 breaks, we're then looking down at 66.55. So very weak bounce attempt and all profit taking from the higher open this morning. WMT, little bit sideways here, so I would just be watching the extremes of the range. 120.71, and actually it's just that candle that we're looking at. 120.71 was the high, 118.72 was the low. We've held that low twice. We've rejected from that high once and potentially again, just patiently waiting for a break of one of those levels. And if we look out on the 4-hour time frame, we're just ping-ponging back and forth in that channel. If it breaks bearish, weekly consolidation is underway to look for a higher low compared to the 114s. If it breaks bullish, we are at all-time highs. BA. So BA bounce is underway. Now we have to keep the hourly uptrend to keep the bounce going. Anything above 329.05 is an hourly higher low. So low, high of the bounce, little higher low, continuation. Bulls have to hold that level. When we lose the hourly uptrend, our daily lower high, which we're watching for, will then be set. So we have not lost the hourly uptrend yet. Looking for another hourly higher low to form with this little end of day consolidation. GP, I struggle with this one. GBPUSD. So we did break the pattern of a higher low every single day by breaking 1287. So then I want to see how it broke. It all broke on one candle. So the bears need to keep up hourly lower highs and lower lows to see follow through. And if we don't see any follow through on the break of that pattern, then we look for the daily bull flag. So tomorrow will be key. If we do not break the low of today tomorrow, bull flag is absolutely in play. And if we do break that low, then we'll be looking visually. I'll watch the 12-period exponential support as it catches up. We'll keep an eye on that. As of right now, it absolutely looks like a bear flag, or a bull flag, I should say. Question is, will the bears see any follow through tomorrow? GLD, I would not say it is, I guess I should look first, but I would not say it is a weekly bull flag. And that just has to do with me and preference, because I would say it could be a monthly bull flag. So it's just, I don't like how the weekly time frame has it a bit extended, just with how many candles there are. Honestly, if you make it the 2-week time frame, it probably looks the best for a weekly bull flag. 3-week. So yeah, just depends on the time frame you change to. Either way, it's healthy consolidation. The weekly chart saw lower highs and lower lows with no follow through. The bulls just have to ensure that these weekly inside bars break bullish because if they break bearish and we lose this 12-period exponential support and we have not set a bottom yet, again, that's when we go from a period of looking for healthy consolidation that will likely lead to continuation, which is where we stand right now. But if we drop to a lower low, that's when we enter the area where we then look for the equilibrium kind of consolidation. SPY gave it all back. So back to testing the low of the day. The bears still have momentum in their favor. CGC bulls closing strong. That's notable, as is VFF closing pretty strong. APHA up near the high of the day, so the MJ sector trying to disregard SPY weakness here. You can see it's the tech sector again. I don't even have to look at QQQ. I can see XLF here still well above the low of the day, or the low of its pullback here in the afternoon. But the fact that SPY is dropping to a lower low, that tells me QQQ is dragging it down. And again, QQQ, a couple days ago, I was saying the relative weakness looks like profit taking as we head into earnings. But now that the Facebook news comes out and just more government pressure, I'm getting, headlines on Fidelity, or they're sending them out saying government looking to break up big tech. So that's just the fear narrative in the tech sector right now, taking the spotlight before we head into the heat of earnings for Microsoft and Apple and Google and Amazon. But it's all about the QQQ double top on the daily and the 4-hour key support, which may be in play tomorrow if this weakness keeps up, 190.71. And if we head to that level in 15-minute and 5-minute oversold conditions and the hourly RSI is down in the 30s, I may look to bottom fish off that level, just like today was a top fishing play for Amazon and some of these other names. All depends on what the setup tomorrow is. I definitely do not have confidence in the CGC daily trend change right now. I would need to see increasing bull volume, and I need to see follow through. We still have the daily 12-period exponential resistance right here. Get over 22 and we can start talking about it. OGI is still a possible daily bull flag. The bulls want to see an inside bar break bullish tomorrow to be looking back up at 380 resistance. Nice shout out earlier today about that NUGT bottom fishing play. 2581 was support, double bottom with the low from a week ago or so. And then not only that, we got another chance at 2594 that has led to a solid 4% of upside. Bull miners love market weakness, which is why I keep talking about ideal scenario for precious metals and miners. And the ideal scenario for that falling wedge on the miners is the S&P 500 losing its weekly uptrend and the dollar just staying weak and ideally losing its monthly uptrend eventually. GE is closing very strong. So nice daily higher low being established. Anything above 861 was a higher low. New higher low is 861. So held it. And now we're looking up at 912 as short-term resistance. After 912, we're looking at 921. I'll be keeping a close eye on OH tomorrow in the USMJ space. Reason being, we are looking for a daily higher low to form compared to 492, and the hourly RSI is just about to get oversold. So if we start the morning with some weakness, I'll look to make an initial entry. The stop will be based off of 492, and I'll be looking for a bounce for a daily lower high to form. TQQQ and SQQQ are the leveraged QQQ ETFs. HZNP. So big ugly upper wick breaking key resistances, a couple key resistances, rejecting from others. So if we see this daily lower high and we drop down and break support of 2709, the bulls are going to lose a lot of momentum that they had. And it was just an example of being exhausted heading into key resistance. You got all this resistance in the low 29s and you test it after a ton of bull move was already used up. So again, I just visualize that as bulls having run 5 miles before they have to get through a difficult patch of mud. That difficult patch of mud is the resistance. They are tired from 5 miles of running and they can't make it. If they had stopped and taken a breather of consolidation and then tried to get through the mud, it would have been probably more successful. NRTH, bulls must break 64. That's our double top. We had the low, high, higher, low, double top. So we'll stay in an equilibrium if that level cannot break tomorrow. And if we break 64, we'll look up at 70 from there. And then we'll zoom out and look for a weekly lower high, which we're already looking for. But it's all about that resistance level in the short term. Hourly support is 60. So QQQ. Again, this is day 3 where it's just been QQQ much weaker than XLF. And if XLF is going to roll over and lose its daily uptrend, which we're not close to doing, but if that were to happen, that's when SPY is going to stay in its weekly equilibrium and pull back hard. So here's XLF, still in the hourly uptrend. It's got a little double top, but anything above 27.96 is a daily high or low. So again, top fishing plays, absolutely. Top fishing plays are on the table, and they have been for a couple days now. Question is, can the bears follow through to make those top fishing plays worthwhile? I said I would be interested in QQQ bottom fishing the 4-hour higher low if 15-minute and hourly RSIs, hourly RSI probably won't be able to be oversold at that level. It's too close by. But if we were to see 15-minute and 5-minute oversold conditions tomorrow morning and that support level approaching, I may look to make a play off of it. We would have to fall straight down to 190.71 to see the hourly RSI right in the low 30s. So bears have momentum into the end of the day. Can they follow through tomorrow? We have to see XLF lose its hourly uptrend. Bears want to see QQQ lose that 4-hour support I just highlighted. Bears want to see Microsoft tomorrow after hours with a bearish reaction to earnings. And our daily higher low of support on SPY is about $2.15 away. And you can see how weak the tech sector is as far as individual names go. Netflix down big, Facebook down big. Apple lost that 240 support level. And RIV, I believe, is hitting all-time lows, which means Black Dirt breakdown, bears are in complete control. Anything under 187 is just a daily lower high. 150, $1. Those are really the only support levels we're looking at. It's just an absolute slow bleed with no bottom in sight. RSI goes out the window when in Black Dirt breakdown with no supports nearby. So hope you all have a good rest of your day. Curious to see if the bears get followed through tomorrow. If QQQ holds that 4-hour support, we know the SPY bears are not going to get significant follow through on their daily pullback. So bears definitely will want to see that level break. And so far, just another failed attempt at all-time highs for the S&P 500. I'll see you all tomorrow morning.